Welcome back to The Jump. Now, ESPN's NBA forecasters predicting the season all week. And today they rolled out their Eastern Conference projected standings. No surprises at the top, with the Nets and Bucks as the top two teams. The top is rounded out by the Sixers, Heat, Hawks, and Celtics. Zach, which of these teams could you see dropping into the play-in?
I think the best candidate would probably be the Celtics, but I have to say, those are my top six in the East, too, with apologies to the Chicago Bulls, who I think have some depth issues and some big defense issues. I'm higher on the Celtics than consensus. I think the Hawks are legit. The Heat, they may not be as good of a regular season team as they look on paper because of their depth, but I think they're pretty darn good. Philly, obviously a huge wild card with the Ben Simmons thing going on, but those are my top six, too. But if you're asking me, who's the most likely to dip one spot? I guess I go with the guys in green in Boston.
Of course you will, Zach, and I disagree with you. If I had to pick one of those teams to take a dip, it would probably be the Atlanta Hawks, and I still have them as my top six teams one of my top six teams in the Eastern Conference. But I still think now they're going to be the hunted. Last year they were hunting, so now people are really going to strap their shoes up. People are really going to get their rest when they land in Atlanta, and people are really going to prepare mentally because they know that they're going to have to go to war against the Hawks. I'm not saying that they are going to drop out, but if I had to pick a team, it would be the Atlanta Hawks.
Ooh, that's tough because it's really between the Hawks and the Celtics for me. But, you know, the Hawks had such a great season. It's all about how do you follow up that season for the Hawks. They're bringing back most of their guys, but there's something about the construction of this Boston Celtics team that just doesn't give me confidence. I know that they have two great young superstars, and they're going to figure it out. But they got a new coach. There's a lot of things. So I would say the Boston Celtics. But Perk, I wanted to ask you, of those teams that you saw in the 7, 8, 9, 10 spot, which of those teams do you think could actually jump up to the top six?
You know what? I really like the Chicago Bulls. Mm-hmm. When you look at Big Vucevic and you looking at Zach LaVine along with Lonzo Ball, I really like that Bulls team. And then, you know, I gave Billy Donovan a lot of heat when he was coaching the Oklahoma City Thunder, but this is the type of team that he needs. And one thing I respect about Billy Donovan is that he has his guys prepared on the defensive side of things. So I'm looking at this Chicago Bulls team, and I wouldn't be surprised if they jump in that top six teams in the Eastern Conference.
Okay, real quick. The Athletic reports the NBA plans to vote on a change for out-of-bound calls in the last 2 minutes, requiring a coach's challenge to review those calls. Previously, any out-of-bounds call in the last 2 minutes could be reviewed at the referee's discretion. Zach, is this the right move to limit reviews in this way?
I actually don't think it is. First of all, there are other ways they could speed the game up besides this. Second of all, the real solution is to just review it faster. Have Secaucus just make the call like this instead of having all the refs huddle around a TV like it's 1993. I will say this. Fans are going to like this because they hate when the end of games take forever. I do too. The minute an out-of-bounds call gets botched and it helps decide a playoff game, fans are going to say, wait a second, why did we change that rule? That feels like a good rule. These are big calls. I think it's worth an extra little bit of delay. The key is just make it faster.
Well, Zach, you can't speed it up if you're trying to make sure that you get the call right, especially if you decide in a playoff game. So you got to keep this intact the way that it is. And look, don't change nothing for the simple fact I don't want to see the NBA report saying we should have done this or this call should have been made after the fact, because you can't get that game back.
Now, I like what you said about just making it go to Secaucus, because that's where the referees are in Secaucus, New Jersey. They have their whole setup there. So I think that that's best. I think it'll make it move faster, but no one cares what you say, Perk.
Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.